Not a good sign. Follow, like, subscribe. Football's almost here, baby.
Hopefully this works.
Yeah, smooth intelligence, lyrical rhyme element. MIC, yo, everything is straight pureness, everything real is right here. Faking no jacks, the flavor's real right here. Pureness, everything real is right here. Faking no jacks, the flavor's real right here.
Yo,
what's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another shitty-ass episode of Preseason and BS here on the AT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Eagle Jeff Warner, alongside Peanut here in the house. But look, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing. Let's hear from you. Let's hear those comments. Eagles football, legitimate football.
We're back.
Is 16 days away, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL Eagles preseason is officially over. They finished the preseason 0-2-1. We'll dive into that momentarily, just giving you our thoughts. Who maybe might have saved their job, who's on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll be discussing and give you our thoughts on the Jonathan Taylor craziness that is when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles and all the hype and rumors and discussion amongst that. Also, we'll give you our thoughts. We want to hear your thoughts as well. If you think it was the right move and the right philosophy for Nick Sirianni, the bench Jalen Hurts and most of the starters for all three preseason games as they get ready for New England just 16 days away. Are they going to be rusty? Was it the right move? We want to hear your thoughts. We'll give you our thoughts later on. But first, let's say let's
say our prayers.
No. We're not Hulk Hogan. We're not saying our prayers and eating our vitamins. Let's pay some bills here on the network. We want to welcome a brand new sponsor to the AT Sports Network, and that is our friends at Debora, Sigler Insurance Agency, AllState Insurance Agency. You can hit her up at 610-395-6100. They specialize in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, and so much more. She is located off the Iroquois Trail on the Old Town Shopping Center with all our lovely sponsors in the Old Town Shopping Center. I would say we're basically going to be the AT Sports Shopping Center, the way all our tremendous sponsors have been supporting our network.
All right, we appreciate it.
But yeah, we do. Make sure to hit her up. You can get a free quote today by calling again 610-395-6100, and Deborah and her team will gladly assist you to get you the best rate on any and all your insurance needs.
Yeah, she's actually my insurance agent.
Absolutely, and she did a tremendous job getting you guys a cheaper rate compared to another insurance company we won't mention.
They don't pay us.
Exactly. They don't pay us. And look, we're not in the bashing industry. So I'll say she was able to do a tremendous job for Lauren Peanut, getting them a great deal. So she can do the same for you.
100%.
I'd like to thank our friends at Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. Again, they are also located off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Order by calling 484-274-6760 or visit stufftothegrills.com for the full menu and specials. Look, they're special last week. I wish we had the show. I could have talked about it, but look, me and the wife, we got the po' boy sandwich. Phenomenal. My daughter, she loves the giant chocolate chip cookies. She devoured that. It was tremendous. It was great food. So, again, support our sponsors. Support Stuff to the Grills in Allentown, 484-274-6760, or stufftothegrills.com for their full menu and specials. I'd like to thank our friends at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown. They're also in the Iroquois, off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Takeout or delivery, 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com. From the tremendous pizzas, the delicious garlic knots, all the tremendous food at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. Football season, college football starts tomorrow, week 0, and the official startup next week. You need that food, need that hosting your parties. NFL season around the corner. Hit Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant up. Don't go to those chain pizza restaurants. You want home fresh cooking with home fresh spices and recipes, and Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant's place to go. They did a tremendous job when we ordered from them for our Super Bowl party, so hit them up.
They did great.
Only a couple more weeks. Time is ticking on the AT Sports Network trip with phillysportstrip.com. Philly Sports Trip and our trip to the Jets and the Commanders game, October 15th. For some reason, I keep on fucking changing this and it's not saving. October 15th is the Jets game. October 29th is the Commanders game. We're leaving from Allentown, from the Old Town Shopping Center. So when you're there, you can see all our tremendous sponsors that are there in the Old Town Shopping Center. But for one low, affordable price, you get tickets to the game. You get transportation on a luxurious bus. You get the full tailgate with food and drink, and you get the party with Eagles Nation. So right now, don't miss out. The Jets game is nearly sold out. Only a limited amount of tickets left and only a limited amount of spots left on the Allentown bus. So if you are in Lehigh Valley and you're contemplating going, hit us up. Hit up Philly Sports Trips. Get in on it now because you don't want to regret it.
Yeah, you don't want to regret it.
But look, I'll say thank you to our sponsors. Now let's get down to fucking business here.
Let's do it.
On Birds, Beers, and BS. And look,
it's time.
The Philadelphia Eagles, the preseason's over. They finished 0-2-1, but who cares about the fucking score?
Nobody.
No one cares about the score when it comes to the preseason. And honestly, I just want to throw this out there.
Go ahead.
Get rid of the freaking preseason.
I'm with you on that one.
What is the point of having these games?
Money.
I don't care about
money.
It's a waste of money. It's a waste of season ticket holders' money. They're paying almost full price for freaking games or tickets of games of guys that aren't even gonna make the freaking roster. Jalen Hurts didn't see a single freaking snap in the preseason. What is the point? I dread the day. I'm glad I wasn't alive in the days when preseason football had 5 or 6 weeks of preseason football. Who the hell wants that?
Nobody.
Especially when you have these joint private practices that are essentially the preseason games.
Correct.
Get rid of the preseason, extend the regular season somehow. Eventually, hopefully it's done soon. But they need to get rid of this shit.
Well, why don't they – sorry, just choked on my burp. Why don't they just, instead of doing preseason games, why don't they just televise the practices? I think that'd be a more –
because teams don't want their actual game tape and their plays and their schemes on film.
Okay.
So essentially, because the regular season, no coordinator ever actually puts their full game, and that's another thing. No coordinator is really game planning for let's say for the preseason. No one's really going out there and going to show their hand. It's like a poker game. You're not going to show your hand to the rest of the table. So they don't want that on tape for other teams to game plan and try to figure them out later on.
You know what? Let's just go cold turkey.
It's a waste.
Let's go straight into the season.
It's a waste of fucking. Well, what's the difference?
Well, I'm saying they got to warm up a little bit. You know,
they're not warming up though.
They have to assess the talent to see what they're gonna do.
That is what training camps for in these joint practices.
Okay. Well, it's not actual game. Like, look,
it's game.
How many players do you know?
There's officials there. There's officials calling the penalties.
But hold on.
I'm pretty sure there's a score somewhere internally.
Well, what I'm saying is, look. How many players have shined during training camp, shined during the preseason,
and how many times have those guys flustered?
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's why you can't just do that. Like you have to have a preseason.
Are you telling me that Tanner McKee should be our fucking starting quarterback right now?
No, but I think he should be our number 2. He should be our number 2. If you want to get into it now, let's do it. He should be our number 2, hands down.
But again, thank you for tuning in. I'll say the numbers are lighting up here. Thank you. To Imani Bentley, go Birds. Evans chiming in. My horrible fucking wife.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah,
my lovely wife. Laura chiming in. But look, I'll say preseason's over, Peanut. So we got to see 3 games of backups and crappy football. The scores don't matter.
Yeah.
But who in your eyes stands out? Good or bad? Who's maybe someone that saved their job? Who is someone that might have or is on the outside looking in that is maybe on that bubble that you would be a little bit upset maybe if they get cut? Because cut day is in just a few short days away. Teams have to be down to the 53-man roster by 4 o'clock on Tuesday.
All right, so surprises, I'll say honestly, you said it earlier, Tanner McKee. Like I think Mariota's overrated. That's not the surprise. I think the surprise honestly is going to be in the running back situation. I feel like Penny. I feel like Penny's going to get cut. I really do. I don't think they need him. I don't think they want him, especially with all the talk about this JT trade. So I think he's odd man looking out in this situation. And he didn't really show much to make me feel like that confident in him in the first place. So, I mean, yeah, I say running back. I say, especially with the trade talk, which I think is smoke and mirrors. I don't see that happening, but we'll see what happens. You?
Look, Tanner McKee, I love the talk, and I understand Mariota has been straight up dog. He's been straight up dog shit in preseason.
Trash.
But let's see what he can actually do when he has a full offensive line. When he has the
Oh, we got a commercial playing during the show.
shitty ESPN. Sorry, I had the box score up from last night.
That's all good.
But look, I'll say let's see what Mariota can do. He was a starter in the league. Yeah, he flamed out a little bit. He didn't live up to the hype. I would say he didn't do too well in Atlanta last year. So I'm not saying he's deserving of a starting job in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I still want to wait and see what we have in him as your backup when he has the likes of Goddard, Smith, A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins at his disposal before we completely throw him under the bus. Don't get me wrong. McKee has impressed.
Yeah.
I'll say he's definitely a guy that I feel that can eventually be our backup. Maybe you can use as a chip to trade later on in a couple years. But he's not ready. I feel he's too raw.
Okay.
And I feel like Philadelphia every single year.
Okay.
During preseason, during training camp, they fall in love with like the Hank Baskets of the world, and they
Hank Baskets.
These guys, the underdog story, because Philadelphia loves the underdog story, and they fall in love with a guy that they just like grasp their fingers on, like just grasp around, and like they want to support and want to see do well, which is all fine and dandy. But you have to realize what those players actually are, who they're playing against, the level of competition. Yeah, he's playing with backups himself as well. But people are basically people are almost like saying he should be the starter without saying he should be the starter. If Jalen Hurts,
no one's saying he won't. Nobody is saying that. Nobody's saying that.
If Jalen Hurts did not have the season he had last year and say he struggled, I guarantee fucking-tee it that people will be calling for Jalen Hurts' fucking head and pointing McKee as the starter if Hurts didn't have the season he had last year.
But you're arguing over a problem that, all right, nobody thinks he's taking the top spot. Nobody. Anyone that doesn't watch football, doesn't care about the Eagles. Nobody's saying that. But it's obvious. It's obvious that this rookie
What up, Adam?
Shout out to Adam. It's obvious that this rookie is doing better. I don't know if they're keeping Mariota around as trade bait or like, hey, he's our number two. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
They want a veteran quarterback because look, and people have to realize you can't just go out there. Most of the NFL, stop thinking of Nicholas Foles.
Yeah, stop that.
Not every backup quarterback is going to come in here and magically take your team to the fucking Super Bowl and win it.
Right.
8% of the teams in this league don't have a quality backup quarterback.
San Francisco.
And Trey Lance, he's about to be on the fucking way out. And honestly, I probably would – if the Eagles would make a move, I might throw a flyer on Trey Lance over Mariota.
100%.
But it's going to depend what it's going to cost. But right now, a guy that was projected to be the franchise quarterback, the third overall pick, is now the third string quarterback because they want to go off of the momentum that Brock Purdy brought to them last season.
Brock Purdy, listen, he's a baller. He passes the eye test. A lot of these players come from college and they don't pass that eye test. There's certain players that you even last year when we were watching games, I'm like, I kept saying Blankenship's name, and I'm like, he passes the eye test. I think in this situation, I'm looking at Mariota and I'm like, this guy, he just doesn't pass the eye test. You know what I'm saying? The only highlight that I remember from Mariota and probably ever from Mariota is when he caught his own pass for a touchdown. That's it. Other than that, no one really fears Mariota. You know what I'm saying?
And everyone's talking about McKee. He's not like he had a great game last night. He was 19 of 34, 158 yards, no touchdown, sacked twice with a quarterback rating of 68. So it's not like he had tremendous numbers. Yeah, I would say he did well the previous two games, and he showed some flashes, and he made some plays here and there. I'm not going to deny that.
Ebbs and flows.
But look, he's not a guy that's ready to step in and be a starter or be the starting quarterback if Jalen Hurts goes down.
No.
Some names like, look, you brought Rashad Penny, and I feel Rashad Penny might be safe. Just because they didn't really use him a lot last night, and that's usually a sign
that they're gonna fucking sign him.
That they might keep him. Like I would say, usually guys in the last preseason game, it's a roster battle,
right?
But guys that are playing probably 80% of their snaps are guys that are not going to be on this roster.
True.
Kennedy Brooks, I would say he just screwed himself. He fumbled last night, and I would say he was 2 carries for four carries. One guy that
don't be mad.
He's going to probably be on his way out. But I'll say I feel like he can pick up a job somewhere else. It's going to be Trey Sermon. Sermon. He didn't have the flashiest numbers, but I feel like he's had his solid training camp.
I feel like Sermon and Penny bring the same. So you're saying if you're predicting that the Eagles take Penny over Sermon.
I feel Penny they feels a better blocking running back, or can be that little bit of that pass protector on passing situations out of the backfield. So I feel Penny, and plus we know what Penny can do. We saw what he was able to do in Seattle.
Yeah.
Sermon was a little bit of hit or miss. So I feel the team and the coaching staff are a little bit more in love with Penny over Sermon, but. We'll see. It's a numbers game.
I feel bad for running backs.
It's nothing. Something at Sermon, but when you already have Gainwell, you have Penny, you have who else do we fucking have? Swift. I'll say it's crowded backfield, and then
Boston.
Yeah, Boston back there.
Yeah,
and it's come down to the guys with backup roles who can play special teams, and I feel
that's a good point.
The Eagles are gonna go heavy later on.
Right.
Heavy with other positions over the running back position. As much as this team has been a run first team the last couple of years, and they have a lot of firepower out of the backfield.
Right.
I don't feel Sirianni feels it's a position they have to have 5 or 6 guys.
I agree with that. And you can just get a running back off of anything at this point. You know what I'm saying?
And one other name I feel that might have saved his job. After he messed up the opening kickoff and then found a way to break it off for 70-something yards is Devin Allen, the speedster.
Devin Allen, baby.
I'll say he 4 returns, 127 yards, average of 31.8. Most of that was on a 73-yarder. So, but
right. Yeah, he impressed me last night. I don't know if their special teams is that bad, and we made us look, because honestly, special teams for the Philadelphia Eagles, that's a blaring weakness.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I was impressed with him. He's got the speed, he's got the sight. We'll see what happens with that. But you're right. These guys, the guys that play, the lower level guys, are going to be on special teams, so it matters what they contribute to the special teams.
I'll say Adam agrees with us saying that Sermon's gone, and then
he said he's gone. I thought he stayed. I thought Penny was gone, but. I feel like they're not going to keep Penny. I really don't. I don't feel like they're going to keep Penny.
I don't know. Let me see some of these 53 roster predictions to see what they have.
Actually, if you go on AAT Birds, you could check out Johnny and Chip show. They went over the whole thing, and a lot of the stuff they said, honestly, I agree with, like 100%, except for a couple odds and ends. But that's just the season, y'all. That's just the season.
So here's one from Eagles beat reporter John McMullen from SI. He breaks it down a little bit to see what he has on his initial 53-man roster.
All right.
Of course, he has Hurts, Mariota, McKee. So he has the Eagles keeping 4 running backs.
Okay.
He has them Gainwell, Swift, Penny, Boston Scott. And this is what he has to say about that position. He's saying, for all the talk of Trey Sermon over the spring and summer, the third-year player never made a real push to join the projected committee approach, finishing with less than impactful 30 yards and 16 carries against the Colts, which is true.
Yeah.
He's had a decent camp, but where it matters, where the difference is made, is in these games. And the fact that Sermon couldn't get the production that he had,
right,
or couldn't get the production that we expect him to have,
right,
against backups, against a crappy Colts team, it shows something for him. Granted, I still feel like he'll get picked up somewhere. Okay. He's had a couple decent games prior, but
he's gonna get picked up.
He's gonna get picked up. He's a third-year player, veteran. He'll get the veteran minimum.
Yeah, 100%.
They have wide receiver A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce OZ.
No, please do it. Please do it.
And then he has Britton Covey as a wide receiver. So he has them.
Oh, hold on. He has what? AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
He has Allen off the team.
Wow. Okay.
He said Allen made a case as both a kick returner and special teams coverage player, but it was too little, too late. Which I can see happening, but that big return.
We really need. Here's the thing: special teams needs a guy like. I don't think they get rid of Allen. I really don't.
But the fact they only keep 5 receivers in a passing league, it seems kind of light.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this guy.
But I'll say he's a very well respected reporter, and he does break a few things here and there, has a little bit ins and outs. True. But I feel his take is that the Eagles are so weak at other positions that they're going to go deeper at other positions. You see him here; he has them keeping 9 offensive linemen, 6 edge rushers, 6 defensive tackles, 3 off the ball linebackers, 6 cornerbacks, 5 safeties. So
and a partridge in the pear tree.
And granted, you have to remember a lot of players. I'll say there's no longer that rule that they have to be for the practice squad. They can be any year.
Okay.
So, like guys like Greg Ward, who's been around for a while, he's a guy that's probably going to be picked up, put on the practice squad, and someone gets hurt can easily come up.
I can see Greg Ward becoming like a wide receiver coach for the Philadelphia Eagles in the future. Like he's one of those guys that the techniques there is just physically he's not there. You know what I'm saying? No offense, Ward.
But Adam also chiming in asking, "What's the update on Jonathan Taylor?" And
it's not happening, y'all.
Honestly, Adam, I'll say I don't know.
I don't think it's happening.
There's reports that there's rumors. I shouldn't say reports because look, there's a difference between anyone out there can go out there and say,
right.
I can say I have sources that Jonathan Taylor is getting traded for Jalen Hurts tomorrow. It doesn't mean it's true. Anyone can go out there and say that. It's all about.
Let's start a rumor right now.
It's all about the credibility of reports and the difference between a report and a rumor. Not saying the gentleman that reportedly said he had sources that say the Eagles with the front runners are going heavily at Jonathan Taylor. He could be true, or it possibly. I feel it is true.
Right.
But it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Look, I feel the Colts asking price is going to be way too high.
Yeah, 100%.
They're definitely going to want at least a first-round pick, which they're not going to get for a running back. Which, granted, Jonathan,
it's a devalued position. Like,
agreed.
And to add on to what you're saying, look, Howie probably kicked the tires, probably asked about it.
No, he definitely did.
I'm sure he did, 100%.
Look, Howie Roseman is a guy is a genius when it comes to end of like cut day trades. Yeah. I believe I saw a stat from one of our hosts on AT Birds weekly report, Kendall Beck. I'll say he posted did some research. I believe he said that Howie Roseman, since becoming the GM, has made 17 basically cut day trades. So he basically goes around the league, talks to players or talks to teams and say, hey, what's your plan with this player? What's playing for this player? I'll give you a 6th, 7th round pick. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it does, or sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
So there's been a few times where it has worked out. That Super Bowl year, he made a couple of trades that off season, and before the trade deadline as well. That helped
during the season.
That helped impact them to win the Super Bowl.
100%.
I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to be that type of trade. I feel the Eagles, the way Howie has spoken in the offseason and leading into training camp, that this team is a running back by committee type of team, and it's because of the limited cap space and the amount of what's the word I'm looking for? The amount of arsenal essentially they have at their disposal going to next year's offseason with the draft and the offseason. They'll have more cap space.
Right.
They have 2 second-round picks.
Right.
So why are they going to go in there? Because you have to remember, granted, they can get away with it. Howie Roseman is a cap genius when it comes to things like that. You're going to have to give Jonathan Taylor a new contract.
Yeah, he's not going to come here without a contract. He's not going to be a prove-it-deal kind of guy. So I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if it was going to happen, it would have happened. Like, I know Eagles fans want him here. Look, he's a talented running back. Would I want him on this team? Absolutely. But I don't know if Howie's willing to sacrifice anything from this team or from from the draft pick aspect of it. He'll probably give a 5th or a 6th, and he probably threw it out there, and they're probably like, no way. And he's probably like, all right, cool, we're good. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel the Colts only gave him permission to seek a trade to basically show him what his
real value
on the market is, and with the rest of these teams. Because look, I'll say Dalvin Cook, he got picked up by the Jets, but It took almost a couple weeks before training camp until he got picked up.
All running backs go to the Jets to die anyways.
Josh Jacobs tried holding out, and he ended up having to go back to the Raiders anyway. He's going back to them. Saquon eventually got paid.
Probably one of the best running. He got paid, but he didn't get paid.
Yeah.
He got paid. He didn't get paid.
He didn't get the deal he wanted.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, running back is a devalued position.
I'll say License Break 13 chime in. Thank you,
Shout out.
License Break, on our YouTube channel. So, again, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing so you're notified every time we go live on the AT Sports Network.
Yes.
I'll say Adam also chiming again. Yes, as many of you know, I'm a huge wrestling fan. We had a couple of passings this week. Hardcore legend Terry Funk passed away. I forget what age he was. And then the unexpected passing Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. So rest in peace to both of them, and condolences to both their family and friends as well, and the whole WWE universe. License Break, do you think the Eagles will get Jonathan Taylor? That's what we were just talking about. And look,
I wish.
As much as I hope it will happen, and as much as Howie has been a genie when it comes to these trade talks over the last couple seasons, I just don't. I feel with what it might take, unless the Colts are willing to come down on their offer, and depending on the contract, it would be a dream come true. And look, I would say when you have Hurts, a young Jonathan Taylor, and you're able to lock him up, you have Devontae Smith, you have A.J. Brown at your disposal, Dallas Goedert, which you're eventually going to have to pay as well.
Right.
This offense,
the core is
we talked about the Eagles offense being the best offense this franchise ever seen. It would be even tremendous. It would be even freaking better. As much as Miles Sanders, I felt was a decent running back, he's not on the level of Jonathan Taylor.
No.
And if Howie can somehow pull it off, I will freaking we will build a statue or a shrine to Howie Roseman in my basement or something.
This is coming from someone that hated on Howie from day one. Let it be known, Howie, I've always been on your side. I've always supported you. So if you ever want to be like interviewed by a bunch of like drunken nobodies, come on the show, man.
But look, Jonathan Taylor, it's a pipe dream at this moment. As much as the talk, I feel like Peanut said, it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
I feel that the Eagles did do their due diligence on trying to get Jonathan Taylor, because look, Howie Roseman's a GM that is always trying to improve.
He would have been here. He would have been here.
He would have been here by now. But hey, who knows? I'll say Philadelphia. He after requesting the trade and gave him permission, he did travel with the Colts to those to those joint practices. So maybe him and Howie and his agent had a little talks, see what type of money he's looking for, and maybe talk to the Colts and their GM to see, hey, what would it take? Who knows? It might still happen, but
it was like an episode of Pawn Stars.
I feel with the crowded back room and the crowded backfield that we already have, and the way Howie has discussed this season about running back by committee, and that he's confident in the guys that they have, and the amount of capital they have next season, I just don't see them wasting it on a guy like Jonathan Taylor right now.
Yeah, I agree, and it's sad because would I want him on our team? 100%. Yeah, there's no question.
So, look. We're about 16 days away to the start of the NFL season. Preseason is finally over. We're almost on our way to meaningful football. And the Eagles will travel to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots on Tom Brady Day. Look, those tickets are insane. I tried looking into it.
Yeah. Well, you were going to go?
Me and Tyler talked about going to that game. Look, I try to go to one road game a year, and I like last year.
New England, you could drive to too.
Yeah, last year we went to Atlanta. So, or was it the year before? I can't remember. I think it was last year. We went to Atlanta last year. So that was fun. So we're looking at like a road game this year. Kansas City, the Super Bowl rematch. But that's in November. He didn't want to go in the cold.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, it's that. And then they announced Tom Brady, and those freaking nosebleed seats are like $1,000 a piece.
You are going to an away game. You're going to the Jets game, which segues into Sports Philly trips. Listen. If you guys don't understand, I don't think you guys.
Wayne Miller chime in. The Colts are too scared to get fleeced by Howie Ken, which is right.
That's a good point.
Look how that benefited the Colts when they traded for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you know what? They're probably like, nah, this time you got us last time. You owe us one. And Howie's like, nope, I ain't doing it. But we're going to the Jets game. That's a road game. You don't you've already paid for it.
That's close.
Oh, you want to go to an away game? Like
I want to travel. I always want to go to Lambeau Field eventually. But now Aaron Rodgers ain't there, so that game's kind of
you might as well
pointless.
get that traveling out of your system now. I don't. Can I mention it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So Jeffrey and Jenna are congratulations. They're having a baby. So
we're expecting our second child at the worst timing. So backstory. When I met Jenna and I told her, like, look, of course, we talked about the future, marriage, kids, all that type of stuff. I said we are planning our pregnancies around football season. We will not have our children during football season. But of course, my first child, my daughter, Addie, born September 23rd, right in the middle of football season. She was actually born during halftime of Monday Night Football 2019 that year.
Yep. That shit was funny.
So next kid, of course, born or his due date is February 2nd, which is right in between the Super Bowl and the championship Sunday. So look, there's a chance I might be having a kid during the NFC championship game when the Eagles are playing for the Super Bowl. I already told my wife I'm choosing the Eagles, but I almost got freaking divorced over that. So I guess I have to be at the labor.
Oh, well, there go our sponsors.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. But yeah, look, getting back to discussion and topics and all that type of good shit. Like I brought up earlier, I want to hear your thoughts. Look, we're 16 games away.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts didn't play a freaking snap in the preseason.
Nope.
None of the starters really played. Pretty much none of the preseason. The guys that matter and that were expected to make a contribution this season. Are you concerned at all? Are you going to 16 days away not be able to see any type of live game action from our first team, our full first team offense and full first team defense?
I'm not overly concerned about it. Look, I always weigh my options. The options are have them in the preseason, get them ready so they're oiled and ready to go, and risk a potential injury that can end the season before the season starts, or deal with like a half of shitty Philadelphia Eagles football. I'm okay with them not starting and not playing in the preseason games. I'm okay with that, especially if it's people that have been in the system for what we'll say like 2 years, right? 2 years, the same system.
Sirianni.
No, I'm not concerned at all. I think it's tough because you want to see them play, you want to see them get into that football condition, but in the same breath, you don't want to see a person go down. What if we play preseason games and AJ Brown goes down with an ACL? Then what? Or what if we
but injuries are a part of the game.
I know injuries are a part of the game, but you have to prepare yourself for that.
If that's the case, then just get rid of these fucking games. If we're that worried about players getting hurt, get rid of them. They don't mean anything. The scores don't matter. I feel the NFL is eventually going to transition to these joint practices.
I think so too.
And that's how the team how teams are going to evaluate talent and their roster. They're going to have like basically live scrimmages multiple weeks throughout the training camp, and that's how they're going to judge the roster and eventually expand the regular season again to maybe 18 or 19 games.
Well, yeah, it's almost like the kickoff. The kickoff has changed. I don't know if you guys heard this shit, but the kickoff has changed. Now, like, are we phasing the kickoff out?
Wayne chiming in. So no practice or nothing for 16 days. Limited action for starters. Russ worries me a lot. They'll still have practice. So I'll say they still have practice in between now and the start of the season. I think they have a little bit of a break, but they do get back to the thing. It's not like they're going to not be practicing at all.
Right.
And they did have those joint practices. So it's a more control environment, and they're able to regulate it, and you don't have to worry about cheap shots or frustrations overflowing amongst teams. Even though we did see the fight.
Ask Kelsey
with Kelsey protecting the running back. I think it was Penny. It was Penny or Swift, one of the two. He went over there to go protect him when they had a brawl out with the.
That's what you want to see
with the Browns.
With the Browns. Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's preseason.
Joint practice helped them get ready. It does, but as a fan, as a fan, we don't get to see those practices. All we hear are the reports and the live analysis from reporters, which is all fine and dandy. But as a fan, you want to see with your own eyes what this team could possibly be. What do we have at our?
We know what we
going
have.
To the season.
We know what we have.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. Listen, when you have a quarterback that's established, we have our franchise quarterback. We have our wide receivers, our starters. We know what they bring to the table.
Players,
why risk the fucking? Why risk it? Why do it? All right, let me flip it.
Two different coordinators.
Okay,
I
that's
wanna
true. Okay.
I want to see how they work in real live game action. I want to see how
Okay.
quickly Brian Johnson can get plays in.
Right.
What his play calls are under pressure. Even though I understand you're not going to see the full playbook in preseason.
Yeah, you just said that they don't even plan for that. So what the hell?
They don't. But I still
might as well do flag football.
I still want to see what from the coaching staff, and we still have a little bit of turnover from a player standpoint.
Right.
So look.
All right, let me
especially the running back position. All we've been discussing is how can this team upgrade the running back position, whether it's go after Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, or any of these other guys that were possibly available this offseason.
Right.
I want to see what we have with our running back position. I want to see how they utilize them. Who's going to be the main guy? Who's going to be getting the most touches?
You're asking a lot, man. You're asking a lot. All right, let me flip it to you.
I want more info.
Let me flip it. So you're a wrestler. You're a wrestling guy, right?
Yeah.
You like all right. So WrestleMania comes up, right? Now, would you risk hurting one of your wrestlers at some like Stabler Arena? No disrespect to Stabler Arena, but like some Stabler Arena.
They do. They're called house shows.
I know, that's what I'm saying. See, I don't speak the lingo, so I'm sorry, wrestler fans. I'm sorry, wrestler fans.
They wrestle.
What I'm saying is, do you want them to get injured before WrestleMania, or would you rather watch them at WrestleMania?
Of course, you want to watch it at WrestleMania.
Case,
but
the defense wrestling.
But the whole point of those house shows is getting them ready for the big day, and that's what preseason is supposed to be for. Maybe not all the players. But some of the players is getting them ready. And look, I'm not saying play them in week 1.
No.
Or even week 2.
Or 2.
Week 3, this was the fucking dress rehearsal.
I think you're just being a little hard on the coaching staff
Put
here,
them
man.
in for one series or 2 series. I just want to see a little
bit.
Because
why?
I want to look.
You said it yourself. It doesn't mean anything.
We're coming off a Super Bowl loss. We're coming off losing the Super Bowl by 3 freaking points.
I know it hurts. It still hurts. It still hurts. I don't even like watching highlights of that shit.
The Super Bowl hangover, it's real. Not many teams get to go back to the Super Bowl the year after losing it.
Yeah, but not many. All right, so you're basing it on. All right, what's happening is you're having Terrell Owens-ish back flashes here.
Not just Terrell Owens. I'm just in general.
The Eagles go to the Super Bowl the year after, and there goes our light.
Way to go.
That wasn't me. You're the one that's fucking slapping shit.
I'm not slapping anything.
Was that me?
That was you.
That was maybe your table's off or something.
You keep on moving the table with your arms.
Yeah, it's moving pretty bad. So Terrell Owens, like the next year, that whole mess happens, and then we go to this thing. This year, we got to the Super Bowl. We go back to the season with AJ Brown. It's basically the same supporting cast, and we're still afraid. We're still afraid
because the expectations are there. You are coming off a Super Bowl season.
You're asking too much, Jeff.
And no, because this team, as much as you don't want to admit it, has some glaring holes on both sides of the football, and it would rest assured the nervousness amongst Eagles Nation if we've seen just a little glimpse of what possibly we can see in the regular season. If they went out there for one drive, deep ball down to AJ Brown for a touchdown, take them out, I would have been fucking satisfied.
What if that didn't happen? What if he tweaked his back when he threw the ball, or AJ Brown ankle injury? Just like it's not worth it, man. Look at Reddick. He had the thumb injury.
Those
for what?
season, the
preseason game?
I'll say we have a chime in from Javier. OCs and DCs were at the preseason games. That's what's new this season. I don't mind not watching. Okay. Yeah, the OCs and the DCs are there at every preseason game. So what I'm getting at is,
look, I want to be entertained. I get what you're saying. You
want to see entertained. I want to see results.
Okay.
And look, I understand they're meaningless games, and I agree with Javier. I agree with you. I don't want players getting hurt.
Right.
But the last time that these guys had played meaningful football was, what, 5 months ago, 6 months ago?
Yeah, about that time.
Besides padded practices and the joint practices with the Browns and the Colts, Jalen Hurts hasn't stepped on a field, or granted, this offense as a whole hasn't stepped on the field. And on the defense side of the ball, you have some moving parts. You have some new players in there.
A lot of
the Kobe Dean's giving a shot to start.
They play those players though. Well, but I see what you're saying. They didn't play him like they should have, but they played some of those young players.
If you're talking about, a little bit. And
Right,
if you're talking about guys like Sidney Brown, there's a reason why Sidney Brown is playing at safety as much as he did last night.
Yeah.
Is because the coaching staff feel he is not ready to come in as a starter in this league. So you are most likely looking at Reed Blankenship,
who I love,
and either Edmonds or Kayvon Wallace as your other starting safety.
Listen, I agree with you on that. I think that, look, it's such it's a thin line between wanting the players to play during preseason games and then losing the players during the preseason game. I mean, how many seasons have we gone through as Eagle fans where we lose like key components during a preseason game? You said it yourself. They don't matter. It doesn't matter. The score doesn't matter. They're not game planning. They're not doing this. Then why risk it? You're a gambling man. That's the problem, Jeffrey. You have a problem gambling. I'm not going to gamble with this team.
I don't even think the NFL season will go 18 or 19 games, have two, but eventually they're going to find something. They're going to figure something out. I'll say eventually once this deal is up with the NFLPA and the Players Association and the NFL, they're going to come to agreement. And look, a lot of players even feel preseason games are meaningless besides the ones fighting for a roster spot.
Right.
And like I said, the NFL is transitioning to get rid of those, expanding the season, and basically having these private joint practices that are regulated and contained by the teams to host these events to really show like the game action during the training camps season.
Yeah, just show me the highlights. I'm good with that.
Yeah, so
like show me the highlights. I'm good.
But look, 16 days away.
Yes,
Eagles,
sir.
Patriots.
Yes.
We're almost, NFL season's almost here. Of course, the NFL season kicks off Thursday night with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champion Chiefs, and the Detroit Lions. That should be our spot right now. But look, it is what it is. I feel Jalen Hurts is going to bounce back. He's using that game as motivation. Mm-hmm. And look, I feel it's going to be a very special season. I'm not saying we're winning it all, but I feel it's going to be a very special, entertaining, and magical year for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I agree, and this time the schedule is not that easy. So if they can make it through this grueling schedule, grueling year, and still come out top on the NFC East, everyone can shut the fuck up at that.
You have anything else?
No, we covered this. No, I got nothing. I think, as a matter of fact, I got nothing. This was a clean show.
Yeah, and now it's time to go play some Madden and
we gotta do our draft
and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, sir. Yes. Oh shit! You didn't watch Ahsoka yet?
No.
Oh, I didn't watch it either.
Dude, I haven't watched a Disney like Star Wars show since probably like 2 years.
The Mandalorian?
Probably.
Season 2?
I didn't even watch that. Probably season 1.
What kind of fucking nerd are you, man?
Sorry, I have a kid that's up my ass making me walk fucking Super Mario Brothers, the movie, at least 3 or 4 times a day. I'm pretty sure me and my wife can quote that entire fucking movie.
I got nothing else.
But look, next week we'll be back, hopefully, but we'll be discussing. We'll give you our NFL season predictions. We'll decide how we want to do give you our Eagles prediction, give you our Super Bowl champion, our awards, and we want to hear your thoughts as well. So make sure you tune in, chiming in next week, giving us your thoughts on how you feel the 2023 season. Sorry, fucking 32 years old, losing my mind, and losing track of time. So look, we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Adam chime in. Thank you, Adam. Great show as always.
Shout out,
Javier chime in. We're winning it all. I'll say, look, I hope you're right, and I agree. But look, the NFL, I will at least say this: the Eagles are favorite in the NFC. That's a
we'll talk about that next
prediction
week.
Right now, and a bona fide statement right now that look, I'm already picking the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. I have to break it down to see if they're going to be winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Wow.
But yeah, we'll be back next week. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Laura, Wayne, Adam, my wife, Evan, Javier. So again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. We'll pay our bills real quick before we get out of here. Again, thank you to our friends, our new sponsor of the AT Sports Network. I'd like to thank her, AllState Insurance Agency, Deborah Sigler, Insurance Agency in Allentown off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Specialize in auto insurance, home insurance, renter's insurance, life insurance, motorcycle insurance,
peanuts insurance,
almost any insurance that you could think of. Hit her up today. Get a quote today by calling 610-395-6100, or you can walk on in. Again, she's located off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center.
Awesome.
Look her up on Google for her hours and operations. Her and her team will gladly help you to save the most and best and give you the best rate on all insurance needs.
Tell her we sent you too.
Absolutely.
Tell her that.
I'd like to thank our friends at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown, located also off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Order takeout delivery 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com for some delicious Italian cuisine. Check them out. Great pizzas, great strombolis,
cheesesteaks,
garlic knot cheesesteaks. And so again, make sure to check them out. Again, Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown. I'd like to thank our friends at Stuff to the Grills. Again, I had their po' boy sandwich just a couple weeks ago. My daughter devoured their giant cookies. They have tremendous desserts right now. I believe they have an Oreo cheesecake.
Yeah.
I
got goosebumps.
And like a Reese's cheesecake. My wife's like, look, we need to get some of that today.
Yeah, for sure.
So again, make sure to check them out. Order by calling 484-274-6760 or visit StuffToTheGrills.com for their full menu and specials. Also, if you're in the Lehigh Valley, you want to join us on our trip to the away Jets game and the away Commanders game. October 15th is the Jets. October 29th is Commanders. Info at phillysportstrips.com. One low, affordable price. Get you a ticket to the game, transportation on a bus.
Don't bring beer.
Full.
You won't need it.
I'll say full tailgate with drink, beer, and food. And guess you get to party and take over the stadiums with Eagles Nation. So phillysportstrips.com. If you're looking for Allentown, make sure you put in Allentown as your pickup and drop-off location so we know that you want to join us, and they don't put you on some random bus from another city.
Word.
So, again, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight for another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS. We'll be back next week talking NFL season predictions. And hopefully talking some more Eagles football and anything else that comes up between now and then. So, again, thank you for everyone for tuning in. And as we end every single show here on this shitty-ass program.
Hey, drink a movie.
Pretty much what you fucking said.
Support for AAT Sports Network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. With this offer, you'll join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Enjoy 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code AAT Sports. That is AAT Sports at manscaped.com. As a married man, I have been there. Personal grooming can be difficult and pretty painful. Luckily, the Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, it is a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner, a pair of performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of your new tools. First off, the Lawnmower 4.0. This thing is the future of grooming. Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess. You thought that was good, but want to take your grooming game even further to the next level? The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes. Their Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver ball toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will be thankful. To top it all off, Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort in boxers to another level. So remember, get 20% off and free shipping with the code AAT Sports at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use code AAT Sports to support us. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.